Alright YouTube, so I want to hit you guys with a couple of tips on growing your channel. Now this can be beneficial to somebody who is a casual YouTuber or somebody who is really trying to make something out of this, so let's get into it. As of starting this recording, we have like 7 or 8 and a couple little smaller tips written down. So I don't know what the exact number is. You will know by the title, obviously. Anyways, let's get into the first one. And the very first tip, and it might seem pretty obvious as a tip, and some of these might seem like very obvious tips, is decide what kind of content you want to produce. Are you going to be a gaming channel? Are you doing Let's Plays? Are you doing live streams? Are you doing gaming news? Are you doing general news? Are you doing politics? Are you doing a podcast? Are you a roast channel like I do sometimes? You know, decide what kind of content you want to make right before you even start your channel. That way you know what you're getting yourself into, and make sure it's something that you're kind of knowledgeable on. If you're going to be doing like me, for instance, I try to do almost strictly Fallout. It's kind of all around Bethesda, but mostly Fallout news. I think I'm pretty knowledgeable on Fallout, the Fallout games, GTA games, shit like that, so that's why I do videos on them. So make sure if you're doing a politics podcast, make sure you know what the fuck you're talking about when it comes to politics. You know what I mean? Like that. Just make sure you know you're knowledgeable on what you're doing, and make sure you decide what you're going to do before you even really start your channel. And next up for our second tip is try to put yourself on some kind of upload schedule, be it once or twice a week, maybe multiple times a week, maybe daily, maybe you upload once a month, but try to have some sort of schedule so people kind of know when and how often to check your channel, but also try to upload as often as you can. If you can do daily, then do daily uploads, because that's really, these days, if you kind of keep up with, you know, YouTube news, that's really what grows channels, is daily content. That's what YouTube tries to really promote. And the more videos you have on your channel, the more videos you put on YouTube, the easier it is for people to discover you. Just because you have that many more videos on YouTube, and you never know what video is going to take off. It wasn't until last month or the last month or two that I had 2 videos that really took off, and they're pushed into, you know, almost 100,000 views. And a video like that can really grow a channel. And those 2 videos have gained me, you know, almost 1,000 subs, it seems, within the past month or two. So you just never know what video is going to take off. So try to upload as often as you can, but don't put yourself on too harsh a schedule that you can't keep up with it. And up next for tip number 3, and this is probably the biggest one, at least for me, I think it's what really grew my channel, is to use social media. I don't know how YouTubers ever grew back in the day before there's really Facebook or Twitter or Instagram and shit like that. I don't know how people ever really discovered their videos. Where did you used to share your videos at? Because I have no fucking idea. Maybe gaming forums and shit? I don't know. But if you use these social medias already, they're very good platforms for sharing your videos, especially since hashtags became a thing. Since hashtags are kind of on every social media now, you can, you know, tag your video link with whatever it is you're talking about, be it gaming stuff or politics, whatever the case. You can use the hashtags. It's a good way for people to discover stuff. I legitimately don't know where my channel would be right now if not for like Twitter and Instagram, because I have a lot of followers on both those social media platforms. And if I wasn't able to share my videos there, I don't know where my channel would be, because there'd be so many people that don't know, that wouldn't know about your channel. Like, how are people going to discover your channel? Say you're a guy with like 10 subscribers and you're uploading all the time. If you're not sharing to social media where people can discover your channel, how are people ever really going to discover you on YouTube? And next up for tip number 4, and this is a small one, but it's actually one of the most important tips. People don't realize how important it is to make thumbnails for your videos. Thumbnails seem like just a simple thing. Some people don't even do it. Like, I see there's people, smaller YouTubers that, you know, I follow, try to help them out and watch their videos every now and then. They do like Let's Plays and shit like that for their channel, but they don't create a thumbnail. So it's just like one random like screenshot from at some point on the video, and they just leave it like that. Like, you got to do a thumbnail. A thumbnail is like 75% of the traffic to your video. Well, people will click on your video either by the title or the thumbnail. You got to have a catchy title as well. That's important as well, but a thumbnail is more important. It's like 75% of the traffic to your channel. So you got to have, even if it's just a picture, it doesn't necessarily have to have words on it. If you watch my channel, you know that sometimes I upload a thumbnail that it's just a picture. It doesn't have, but it'll be related to what we're talking about, and it needs to be related to what you're talking about. But you got to have a thumbnail. It is one of the most important things for every single video. And next up, and it seems like a pretty obvious tip as well, for tip number 5, is to do your research. Now, this kind of falls into the category of the first tip, where I said be knowledgeable about what you're talking about, but do your research. You got to be able to look up whatever it is you're talking about. Now, if you're doing like a Let's Play channel, there's nothing to really research. You're just playing video games, and you're just uploading your video game gameplay, doing commentary over it. There's nothing to research. But if you're doing like talking about politics, I keep referencing politics. If you're going to talk about politics, you got to know what the fuck you're talking about, so research it. If you're going to talk about some kind of important news topic that's happening recently, you got to do your research. It's like trying to review a movie that you haven't actually watched yet. So why would you try to review it if you know nothing about the movie? You know what I'm saying, like that? So just do your research. It's that simple. For tip number 6, and this is a pretty obvious one as well in some ways, is you have to be able to take criticism. We are on the internet. People talk shit. No matter how good of a YouTuber, you could be the best YouTuber on YouTube, somehow magically, and there's going to be somebody who's going to say your content sucks. It's just going to happen. It's YouTube. You'll have the anonymous people that just dislike your video. It just happens, man. And you got to be able to take actual criticism, and you got to be able to differentiate criticism from trolls. If somebody pops on your video all the time and they're just like, God, your content fucking sucks, get off of YouTube, you faggot. Like, that's a troll. They're just talking shit to talk shit. Ignore them. They're irrelevant. I don't even reply or acknowledge those comments. I don't delete them either, because I can give a fuck less. But people who are trolls that comment on your videos, just ignore them, man. If somebody's like, hey, man, this was a decent video, but the microphone audio is kind of low, there's kind of some fuzzy noise in the background. If they're giving you actual criticism, actual tips to improve your channel, don't take offense to that stuff. Yeah, sometimes I'll reply like an asshole to some comments, and I'll read them, a day or two later. I'm just like, I don't think they're being rude. I think I'm being the asshole in the situation. So you got to be able to differentiate what is criticism, what is people talking shit, and what is trolls. Next up for tip 7, and this one I've given to a lot of people over my 2 years of doing YouTube, is to really not be nervous. I mean, the thing is, whenever you're recording your video, it's just you. Nobody's hearing your video until it's uploaded to YouTube, man. So if you're kind of nervous and shit, do another retake. And I also see a lot of smaller YouTubers that kind of talk really low, kind of almost a whisper, it seems. And it's like, man, you gotta be confident, man. You gotta be confident in what you're saying. You gotta talk loudly, believe in what you're saying so people believe you as well, man. You gotta be confident. It happens with time. I used to be pretty goddamn nervous, like I said before. I used to talk kind of low, used to do my videos in one take, didn't really know what I was doing with YouTube, and inevitably you get comfortable, man. You can just wing it on the mic. Now, and something else that can help you too is writing down a script. A lot of YouTubers write a script for every fucking video. I used to do that, but it was obvious that I was reading off a piece of paper. I'm a hell of a lot better now, kind of writing little notes down on a piece of paper, so I got some pinpoints about what I'm going to talk about, and it's just easier for me to talk off the top of my head. And tip number 8, you don't need the best equipment possible. It's easy to look at these, big-time YouTubers that have these godly setups, like 3 fucking monitors, this probably $1,000 microphone and shit like that, and think you need that as well. You don't. When I first started YouTube and I was doing Fallout 4 coverage and shit, I used to use the in-console DVR on my Xbox One to record gameplay, and I would do commentary over the gameplay with an app on Xbox One called Upload, and I would record the audio with my Xbox One headset. It was trash, man. It was a trash setup. But you know what? People watched my videos, and my channel grew, and I got, over 1,000 subscribers doing those type of videos. So people will come to your channel, even if your quality isn't the best. Now, if you have the money, invest in better equipment. Me personally, I have an Elgato, which I didn't buy. A friend let me borrow it. He also let me borrow a laptop. The laptop's kind of trash, but it works. It's better than the laptop I used to use. And I bought myself a Blue Snowball microphone so that I could have better quality audio, and my channel's been pretty great since. And last up for our final tip, tip number 9, is to not make a YouTube channel trying to make it into a career or to try to make money out of it, because it's going to take a long time. You have those small handful of channels that just kind of blow up. It happens. There's rare cases where a channel will just gain 100,000 subscribers in a month or two. Some channels just blow up. Some people get lucky, man. But for the most part, it's going to be a grind. It's going to take you years and years to really grow your channel. And it takes 1,000 views or something like that to earn $1 with ad revenue. And if you keep up with YouTube news as well, these days, ad revenue is down so much more than it used to be, and some videos don't even get monetized altogether, and it's even harder now than it used to ever be to make money on YouTube. So if you're going to start a YouTube channel, and you're starting from the ground up, and you don't really have a following or a subscriber base, it's going to be a long time before you can make any substantial money off of YouTube. So that really shouldn't be your goal starting out. For me, it's a hobby. It's always been a hobby. I've been at this for 2 years now, and my channel has never been monetized. I think I kind of messed with it back in the day just to see before I knew the ins and outs of YouTube, the analytics, how much money you can make, and all that shit like that. I just tested it out to see what it was, and of course it never worked out for me. But I tested it out, but for the most part, my channel has never been monetized. It's a creative outlet for me, man. It's my hobby. It's something I really, really enjoy doing. And inevitably down the road, if it's something I can make a career out of or make money from, obviously we'll take that route. But again, for now, man, it's been a hobby of mine for 2 years now. I've been pumping out videos for most of 2 years. I took a break for a while, a couple months or something. But don't go into this trying to make a career out of it, because it's going to take you a long ass time. And those are my 9 tips for helping grow your channel. If you follow some, most, or all these tips, you should see some sort of growth with your channel. To do a quick recap, you should decide what kind of content you want to make. You should upload as often as you can. Try to put yourself on some kind of upload schedule. Use social media to promote your channel. Create thumbnails. Do your research about whatever it is you're making videos about. Learn to take criticism. Also be able to tell what is actual criticism and what is trolls. Don't be nervous. Try to speak up and be confident in what you're saying. You don't need the best equipment possible. You just work with what you got, and don't go into this expecting to make a lot of money, because it's just not going to happen. Hopefully these tips can be beneficial to some of you out there who are trying to create a YouTube channel. I go into pretty much every video I make with most of these things in mind, and I follow these with every single video I make. If you went on to enjoy the video, or if it was helpful, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, follow me on Twitter, links to my social networks are in the description. Into the outro. Later, guys.
Till it comes to conclusions, all the things that we thought we were losing. I'm a ghost and you know this. That's why we broke up in the first place. 'Cause I want you to know that